Josh Allen is an absolute marvel. And what he did in this game, what he's done this entire climb back into a playoff spot when the Bills counted out. Nobody thought they were going to make the playoffs. They had a 5% chance of making the playoffs at one point not too long ago. And they've climbed back in. Josh Allen is a magician on the field. And you can love or hate him. You can talk about this. You can talk about that. You could say, I'm not drafted a quarterback early. That's fine too. But we're here to discuss, if you are drafting a quarterback early, how high do you climb up for Josh Allen? Where's Jalen Herz? Where's CJ Stroud? What are you doing with your second round pick in 2024? It's okay to pass on a quarterback. It's okay to see the value in Joe Burrow and Jordan Love. Quarterback's interesting in 2024. I'll tell you that right now. But there is no one single way to attack the position. I tell you to diversify at every turn. I think early quarterback is fantastic. I think late quarterback can work as well. They're all amazing. They're all fantastic. Anybody that says you shouldn't do one or the other doesn't know what they're talking about. And Josh Allen, we're talking about this marvel of a man, Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. The Eagle game is about to kick off. I do believe the Eagles win this game. I believe quarterbacks will continue to be the reason why these teams advance. Philly will advance. Now, will Philly fall short next round? We'll break it all down right now. Josh Allen, Jalen Herz, quarterbacks. The wild card weekend wrapping up here. The Fantasy Football Show begins right now.
Live from the FantasyFootballShow.com studios.
It's the Fantasy Football Show. Live!
Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Smitty is also live whenever news breaks.
Live whenever news breaks. Live to talk about Josh Allen. Live to talk about Jalen Hurts. Live to talk about quarterback drafting. Live to defend early quarterback. Live to defend late quarterback. The only wrong answer here by so many people that have the obligation or responsibility to create content for people, the only responsible way to approach it is to understand that you can win 100,000 different ways. Drafting Josh Allen in round 2 is not a mistake. Drafting Josh Allen in round 2 is not a mistake, but also not drafting him in round 2 and going with Burrow round 7. Where the hell is Joe Burrow going to fall? You know what I'm saying? Where's Jordan Love going to fall? By default, Joe Burrow and Jordan Love, they're de facto middle to late round quarterback selections in 2024. There's no room for them up at the top. CJ Stroud, rightfully so, has bumped both of those guys down. He's now in the 3-4 territory. You've got Lamar lingering there. You've got Josh Allen. You got Hertz. You still have Mahomes. You have no ability whatsoever to argue that you have to go one direction or another. But what I can at least tell you here today is this man commands second round consideration, as will Hertz tonight, probably. Now, Hertz could have a struggle bus game because he is injured. This entire Philly team is in shambles right now. A.J. Brown is out. There's a chance Jalen doesn't look as good as Josh Allen just performed. But I think there's also a chance he carries this team on his back, has 2 rushing touchdowns, throws another touchdown, has enough yardage sum total to be like, damn, this guy is also a second round pick. And there's nothing wrong, even in a deep QB pool. You're going to hear a Caleb come in and say, this is not the year to draft an early quarterback. That is so lazy. That is so lazy. They're both good. They're both fantastic. It's apples to apples. If I'm taking Josh Allen in round 2 or Hertz in round 2 or Stroud in round 3, wherever Stroud ends up going, because he's going to go high, and I take a wide receiver in round 6, and you take your wide receiver in round 2 and your quarterback in round 6, I venture to say in a worst case scenario, based on the way I believe I'll draft my 6th round wide receiver, we're going to have equal teams, equal footing. It's going to be amazing. That's all I'm going to tell you. We're going to have a Joe Burrow is an amazing draft strategy in round 7, 8, wherever the hell he falls. We're going to have a Jordan Love can win a league from whatever round he de facto falls to. We're going to have a video that says, like this one, Josh Allen in round 2 is going to win you a league. We will have a video that Jalen Herz can win you a league. That's the whole point that I'm trying to drive home here, is the person or content or whatever saying that there's one way to approach quarterback is the wrong approach. And this man just proved to Josh Allen what a phenomenal job in this wild card round against the Pittsburgh Steelers, who did play well at times. I mean, there's
Motion detected
you know,
at the front door.
there's a lot of room to improve with every one of these teams, you know, that's getting knocked out, that made it this far, they have some work to do. But, like, you know, hats off to the Steelers season. But Josh Allen absolutely is on a mission to try and win MVP, to try and prove to people, even if he doesn't win MVP, he is the MVP. Doesn't mean Lamar's not still in the mix or deserving of the award, or that he won't win MVP. Not that Stroud doesn't deserve. Stroud deserves to be in this conversation. And I truly believe Stroud is in the conversation. I don't think he's out of the conversation. Quite honestly, it's Stroud and Allen. You know, Lamar has been amazing too, but Stroud and Allen are the fresher names in the MVP race. They're very deserving of it. It is probably a quarterback. I think CMC also deserves
to the moon
to be considered in the MVP race. Really, it's between those guys. For me, I'm not saying that's how it's going to go. It probably will, because it does feel like those are the top names. I don't think CMC is going to win it. It's just because quarterbacks traditionally win it. Doesn't mean he doesn't deserve to be considered or to win it. CMC is absolutely. And enough with the Brock Purdy. Look, Brock Purdy's been playing great. He's a good quarterback. He's got his team firing on all cylinders. I'm not saying he's not a good quarterback, but he's not an NFL MVP, and he's not as good as Josh Allen. Let's put that to bed right now, okay? Because if you're going to come in here and say you'd rather have Brock Purdy as your long-term quarterback, or maybe on the Niners right here, right now, the way you're, you know, processing, the way everything's unfolding, of course, you're not going to make a last-second swap for another QB. No one's suggesting that. But if you are starting a team right now, you're a GM, you've got no other players, you get the first overall pick, and you have a chance to draft Josh Allen or Brock Purdy, you're out of your mind, and you're wearing Niner goggles if you think Brock Purdy's even in this conversation. Okay? And Jalen Hurts over Brock Purdy as well. And Stroud over Purdy as well. Purdy's in the top 10 conversation for some of you, and I'll allow you to have that argument right now. I'm not saying he's necessarily locked into any specific spot near the tail end of the 10. Like, he's in the conversation. Fit is great. The fit is great. The way he plays for the Niners is great. He is perfect. But I don't want to hear anybody suggest that Brock Purdy is a better quarterback than Josh Allen, because it's ridiculous. I went on a live stream with my boy Raj, and I know I was in the wrong community to suggest that. Okay? I knew I was going to get a negative response, but it was like, are you crazy? You'd rather have Josh Allen over our beloved Brock Purdy? Yeah. I think the answer is affirmative on that. And the same goes for Jalen Hurts. Get out of here. If you think Jalen Hurts is not better to start a franchise with than Brock Purdy, from scratch, not where you are right now, with the fit you have right now, with the situation you have right now. You are looking at this thing with goggles this thick, red goggles this thick. I love my Niner people. I do. I love my Buffalo Bill fans. I love my Philadelphia Eagle fans. I love you all equally. This is not a negative thing. It's just we're talking quarterbacks right now. And we have to prepare people for the fantasy football season in 2024. And we're not going to allow a conversation like Brock Purdy as potentially being in the same convo of draft selections as Josh Allen, Hertz, as C.J. Stroud, and Mahomes even. And then not only that, have a conversation as if Brock in a real NFL sense is still in that convo. He's knocking at the door. Whether he remains in that conversation after this playoffs will remain to be seen. I'm not going to kick him out of the top 6 to 10 quarterback conversation, but he is not cemented in. He is not. It's just funny, a lot of fandom creeps into this thing. And it clouds up a lot of people's judgment, and a lot of hatred for certain players can crowd up judgment too. And you could say, hey Smitty, I'm going to throw that right back at you for Brock Purdy. I don't hate Brock Purdy though. That's where you're going to be wrong. I really don't have any judgments about anybody. I bring to the table, I think, a level of objectivity where I don't let my fandom, I don't let anything kind of creep in. Am I a little pro Josh Allen? Yeah, I've admitted that on this channel before, but I don't think it's rooted in anything unreasonable or faulty or on unlevel playing. I understand what he is. I understand. Now, why am I a Josh Allen fan? I mean, from the core of this man's beginning and in introduction to the NFL, I identified him as a top 1 to 4 quarterback as a rookie before he took a snap. So it's deep rooted in belief in his ability to become what he is. So am I biasly in favor of Josh Allen? Absolutely, but it's rooted in everything that we're here today to discuss. It's rooted in projection and predicting it. It's not rooted in anything else. Like, do I lean Buffalo when push comes to shove? Sure. I've admitted that before too. Buffalo, I have a natural desire to watch and see the Buffalo Bills exceed and excel. I admit having a bias in that. And if I'm projecting maybe a team to win a game, like in a bracket, I probably will have a little bit of bias that I can't shake free in terms of projecting the Buffalo Bills to go to a Super Bowl. By the way, Buffalo is going to be added onto this list. I told you I had the script yesterday. And here we go. So Buffalo Bills are being dropped right here. Let me put it on top layer here. So the worst remaining seed as of this moment in the AFC is the Houston Texans at the 4 seed. So they get to go up and play the Baltimore Ravens. So the Ravens have supposed to have by seed the easiest path to the Super Bowl, right? So the worst remaining seed 4 is the biggest number. So the Ravens are going to face the Houston Texans. The Kansas City Chiefs will face off against the Buffalo Bills. And so these guys will advance here. Here, let's get rid of all these. We don't need these. And that's the way the bracket looks right now. We'll dig into what I think is going to happen here. Actually, I could just do it right now. I'll just say for me, it's Buffalo. Buffalo is advancing. This is the one, man, my heart wants to say the Houston Texans. And part of me feels like I might put my balls on the table as a readjustment bracket because I don't have the Houston Texans advancing past this point. I did have them right here. This side of the bracket, this is how I had it. This side of the bracket, I got unraveled a little bit with Dallas. I had Dallas advancing. Advancing to the title game against the Niners and losing to the Niners advancing against Buffalo. That was admittedly my bracket, which got pretty much busted to a degree with that Dallas loss. I mean, I could still, in a bracket that I entered that in, I could still potentially win, I suppose, if everything else went perfectly. But Tampa Bay has to lose this game for my bracket to even have a shot on that NFC side. But this game's about to kick off here right now. Let's get to these super chats, and the kickoff is happening right now. We probably won't be live for an extreme amount of time today. We'll come back and go live after the game. If the gentlemanly shove is what we call that there, Al. I think tush push should be outlawed. Is banned next year. Rank Hertz. If it's banned next year. Part of me wonders if they just deploy their best version of it without, you know what I mean? Like he's still going to QB sneak it. I don't think it knocks him down a ton. I think it knocks him down a little bit. I think it's what separates him and Josh Allen. I think it's what separates him maybe in Mahomes if Mahomes bounces back. And let's say Casey gets some improved pieces in the offseason. Then I could see like Hertz maybe dropping to 3. It could be the difference between Stroud and Hertz if you take away all of Hertz's ability to rush. But keep in mind that if they're not rushing for those touchdowns, who's to say they're not throwing them? You know, who's to say that Hertz isn't scoring almost every single one of those? They're just scoring very easily on those versus having to throw a dime into the end zone. First pass complete by Mayfield to Otten. Or that. Sorry, still a little under the weather here in Casa de Smitty. I keep avoiding it for the most part, but like I get hit by a little bit of these colds, the plague that gets brought into this home every other day. If this gentlemanly shove is eliminated, we'll have a conversation. It definitely could move. It could move Stroud and Mahomes ahead. Nice little wide open catch by Mike Evans, rolling to the ground, securing the football. Getting helped up by his opponents. Baker striking early, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers striking across the middle of the field twice already. Not afraid to throw downfield. I like what I'm seeing here. I like this in terms of being a competitive game. Attaboy Baker. Baker, maybe a touchdown or 2 maker in this one. Let's see here. We got a few people in here. Thank you for your super chat, bro. Appreciate you. Ron says, I'm here. You can all rub it in, but I showed up. But I'm leaving. I'm sorry, Ron. Balls for Ron to come in here. And, you know, your team, like I said, Ron, if you're still watching, your team has the ability, bro. Has the ability to be an absolute deep playoff team with a QB. And I know Rudolph played pretty well for the most part. I mean, there's definitely going to be a competition, I think, walking into the season. They'd be crazy not to have an open competition, honestly. But I don't know that either one of them is the answer for this team to be an absolute, like, deep contending, you know, into the potential conference championship game type of team. Like without a big signal caller. We're seeing it right now. Every single one of these teams has a big name signal caller. Look at it. Look at this. That's why I think the Bucs end up losing this game, but you never know. Maybe Baker slips in and it's only one team. It's definitely not an exact science, but you look at this thing and you say Detroit, Goff is Goff and Stafford, that matchup didn't have a huge name. They're both very, very arguably top 10 court. Like Stafford's played better than Goff on the year, but they both can ball out. So this one wasn't a surprise to have Goff slip in here because it wasn't like he was going up against a huge name quarterback, just a really good Stafford, playing Stafford. So this doesn't surprise me here. But look at Jordan Love playing like a top 5 to 7 QB. Purdy playing like a top 7 to 10 QB. And the offense, the Niners offense, everything's fantastic. Everything's well-oiled. Christian McCaffrey, Kittle, Debo, Ayuk. I mean, you can't ask for a better balance. This is the best, most organized, well-playing team in the National Football League on the NFC side of the fence. The Buffalo Bills are on the AFC side, which is why the Buffalo Bills have continued to pick up momentum. That's why the two best teams here really... Baltimore is in this mix. Baltimore, Buffalo, San Francisco, those are the 3 teams, I think, to beat. And, so it's going to be a tough battle over here. But will C.J. Stroud and the boys be able to knock off and do the impossible and get to this and just keep letting the miracle ride? God. Got a little cough going. We'll update that. But Steelers trade for Fields. General, I'm all in, says Frank. Frank, weren't you saying that the Steelers were gonna win? Hector, that would be a great Super Bowl. Love the 49ers, says Superfish. White breaking 6 tackles on one play, says Ray G. Rashad White is the man. I love Rashad White. Admittedly, didn't think he'd have as much of an ability to do what he did this year because I just didn't believe in Baker. Admittedly, I didn't believe in Baker. Baker's been proving me wrong this year. Baker is somebody, I don't think he's, a long-term answer. I don't think, if a QB needy team needed a quarterback, they should be going after Baker. I'm not saying that, but he definitely surprised me. I definitely had bad things to say about Baker. He wouldn't be able to do it. He wouldn't be able to march his team into a playoff outing, and look at him. So that take a lap on me for Baker. Baker's been phenomenal, but I feel like it's a Band-Aid. I don't feel like he is a long-term answer. Maybe I'm wrong again. Baker drops back, throws into the end zone, dropped by Otten. I mean, it was a tough catch, but it touches your hands. The rule is you got to pull it in. That was a tough catch, though. He was kind of blanketed a little bit. You could potentially call pass interference on that. He was getting wrapped up before the ball even got close to his mitts, so I don't know why that didn't get called. Baker is 3 of 6 for 39 yards, 7 rushing yards. Baker Mayfield, nice little game so far. 3rd and 3. Can the Eagles stop? Baker back to pass. Baker throws one into the end zone. Is there a flag? No flag. 4th and 3. They will kick a field goal. It will be 3-0, assuming the kick is good, and the Eagles will get the football without too much damage being done. Perps in the building, Superfish. I don't know if Ron Navy left. Ron, nobody needs you to. I think has anybody been attacking Ron too hard on this loss? Ron says he was showing up and then he's out of here, so I don't know if he's not going to come back into the stream or not. I know he's pissed off. I don't blame him. Is he mad because I'm talking about Josh Allen, though? I don't know if that's why he's mad or if he's just mad because the Steelers lost. I know he hates Josh Allen right now, but probably I think Jacobs is gone and Las Vegas likes one running back to dominate touches, says Huffman. Yeah, Jacobs isn't returning. I mean, could I see a world where Jacobs decided to willingly go back to Las Vegas because of Pierce, because of Adams? Maybe if Fields were coming. I don't know if you guys have followed what Pierce has said or what actually, back it up. What Jacobs has said in the offseason. Jacobs said that if they went all in on Aaron Rodgers, he would gladly sign his franchise tender. You remember? He held out. Jacobs held out, didn't work out well, as I said it wouldn't, because a running back with close to 400 touches that's holding out all of August is a disaster waiting to happen, an injury waiting to happen, a bad season waiting to happen, and Jacobs absolutely crapped the bed given the ADP value. But what did he say? Yeah, Ron, if you're here, we got you, pal. No hate or no rubbing it in. I mean, I'm assuming this live stream alone is just depressing to watch, so that's probably why you left. I don't think no one should be rubbing any salt in Ron's wounds. Ron had a nice, great season. The Steelers did very well. He should be proud. I know he's probably not, happy no matter what right now, but Steelers did well. Nobody rubbed the salt in the wounds. He's fine. What were you saying? I don't know what I was saying. I think I was just saying that, I don't know. I sidetracked myself. Let's open the phone lines. Dial in.
Call into the show. Call into the show.
Dial in to thy show and let me know what's on your mind. And let me know how you did with your underdog stuff. Your boy will be taking phone calls for a little bit of time, and then we're going to probably jump off. But, yeah, code Smitty, Underdog Fantasy. They'll double your first deposit up to $100. That link I'll drop in the live chat right this very second. That link inserts code Smitty for you. But if you don't use the link that's in the description of every video, or the link that I just dropped in the live chat. If you don't use that link, you can just use code Smitty if you would like. And these are the two of the picks. Obviously, they've been on screen the whole show before kickoff and everything sitting right here. I like the higher on 69.5 yards for Devonta Smith on Underdog. I also like the one rushing or receiving. He's not going to receive a touchdown most likely, but a rushing touchdown or receiving, it's a 0.85 multiplier. So it's a nice little multiplier and bump. We've got Philly getting the football right here. Perps on the line. Perps, what's going on, my man? Man, what a day. What a day. Josh Allen was phenomenal. Hold on, Perps, before I get to you real quickly, let me actually go over the stats. I haven't even had a chance. I was just pumping up Herz pumping up Josh Allen, and I didn't even get a chance to break this down. So Josh Allen was 21 of 30, 203, 3 touchdowns through the air, 8 carries for 74 yards, which included a 52-yard touchdown run. So 4 total touchdowns for Josh Allen. Kincaid was a monster in this one. He got a little banged up. Swift is breaking a little 10-yard runoff. Kincaid got a little banged up for a second, but didn't leave the game. He just kind of was, just tough for him getting up, and I don't know if that hampered him at all. Didn't seem like it was anything big, but Kincaid was just slow getting up, then stayed in the game. 3 receptions for 59 yards and a touchdown. Diggs has been pedestrian since, I don't know, I can't even remember when the last time that guy exploded. 7 for 52. Knox caught a touchdown. Shakir caught that touchdown, 31 yards total. Targets 3 for Shakir. Shakir was a nice little play. On the Steelers side of the football, Jalen Warren, 8 for 38. Najee had no room to run, 12 for 37, 3.1 a pop. Jalen Warren has been averaging more yards per carry than most running backs in the NFL. He's such a good running back. I really hope at some point he gets a chance in this offense. But 8 for 38 for Jalen Warren. George Pickens, 5 for 50. Freiermuth, 5 for 76. And Mason Rudolph had 2 TDs and 1 interception, 229. Not a horrible day for Rudolph, but, it's just he's not – they need a big signal caller would be my plea as a fan. And this is what I was trying to tell Ron the other night. It's like I'm still pro Steeler for him. I wasn't trying to be negative at all. I was just saying my positive, angle to this is that if the Steelers got an elite quarterback, Fields is available for trade, trading up to get one of the top big rookies, or, there are other options. I think this would be a team that would be absolutely a force, but I don't think they will be until they get a quarterback. I don't believe in Kenny Pickett. I think Mason Rudolph is walking into a quarterback competition. I don't think there's any way they don't consider that, or at least they should be considering it. Maybe there is a way. They could easily, I guess, do what I don't believe is logical, but Rudolph deserves a look. But again, he's not it. He's not the answer. He's going to get you right where you got here if your defense allows it, and then you're going to lose first round. So that's what Rudolph will get you. Pickett, I don't know. Pickett might be able to do the same, but I don't think either one is going to take that next step. You're not going to be able to beat the likes of Buffalo Bill, KC Chief, and Baltimore Raven, and Houston Texan, and even potentially Cleveland Brown teams without a signal caller. And the theme here is big name quarterback. Stroud, Lamar, Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy with the support of that Niners cast, though. I'm not trying to throw a game manager out there. I'm just saying, he is considered a big baller in this situation. So he's in this too. And then right here, probably, if all goes to plan for Philly, Jalen Hurts. The only non-big name quarterbacks, Jared Goff, and he went up against Stafford, so one of those two was going to make it through. But it's I think in today's NFL, you need a big-time signal caller. Or you don't really have it. I don't think this is a league where defense is going to win championships very often. It's going to be defense with a great quarterback, but I don't think defense can do it. What's up, Perps?
Not much, Smitty. What's good?
Not much, man. Just trying to win some of these mittens and everything. I do have a lot of Josh Allen, so I'm off to a good start, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. What was your take on the game?
I mean, at the end of the day, was, moved, changes the dynamics of the game. Granted, yeah, they're all professionals. Non-heated fields, turf's hard, playing conditions are different, but they all had to play the same. And, Buffalo has been on a tear. They've been winning a lot. And clearly they were the hungrier team, but it doesn't mean that Pittsburgh was not worthy of winning. They just didn't have enough tools to make it happen.
Yeah. I've got on the way too early wild card qualifiers, the mittens, the mitten 2, the wild card qualifier, the little mitten. I got them all kind of lighting up green again because of Josh Allen. So I'm just scrolling through some of my underdog stuff, but I wasn't feeling too hot until that game. But I know with some of these situations, we'll see what happens in the next round. But because I probably have some Dallas Cowboy players and such. I haven't looked at each individual team, but it's nice to see Josh Allen creeping some of those teams into the mix. But where do you draft Josh Allen next year? I'm saying second round lock. It doesn't mean, as I say, you diversify. Doesn't mean I do that in every draft, but I mean, there's going to be 100%, at least 1 or 2, maybe even 3 leagues where I'm taking Josh Allen if he's there in the second round. Not saying there isn't an option or 2 that I would take over him if presented with that, but I believe Josh Allen deserves to be absolutely locked into place in round 2, and I think Herz probably as well. Assuming he escapes, with no injury. Even if he lost today, he'd still be a second round potential player. I don't think anybody else deserves second round value yet. I think we'll see where everybody values CJ Stroud. I'm hoping he doesn't climb ridiculously high. I hope he's still like 3-4 is where I kind of envision Stroud going, but we'll see where. But I think Josh Allen for me is in 2. Where do you have Josh Allen? What's the highest you would take Josh Allen?
I say top 5 is where he is for me.
Wow.
I think the top 5, there's a bunch of competition there. I mean, I'll flip the question.
Top 5 quarterback. No, I'm saying overall. What round?
Oh, within the top 3 rounds.
So you're not 2. Okay, not locked into 2.
No, I'm not too far off. But to flip the question, you've been high on Mahomes. Where does Mahomes fall in there for you?
Well, Mahomes, if he gets some help, I think is probably top of 3. Mahomes here. I think Josh Allen 2. I think Hertz in 2. I think these are the only things that feel locked into place, and then depending on how Stroud finishes, he'll be either right there hugging Mahomes, or some might even say above Mahomes, or down at the top of round 4. So how Stroud finishes will determine where he goes. Like if he has another 2, let's say he advances one more round and he plays 2 amazing games, he's going to go above Mahomes. If he gets knocked out of this next round and doesn't really even have a really great day against Baltimore, it will, just because the way people are fickle, not necessarily in a negative way. I'm just saying we're all very, very reactive people. In general, he will fall, I think, below Mahomes, or be in this 3-4 territory. So everything is so, like, look at Josh Allen. Like, there's so many people that doubted him, I think, walking into tonight. And now all of a sudden, I think a lot of those doubters might say, yeah, I agree. Josh Allen in round 2 is fine. I think he's a lock in round 2, sure. Whereas before today's game, they probably would have said, I don't know, 3, top of 3, And there's nothing wrong with that. Your answer was 2-3, so you weren't so locked into Josh Allen round 2, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Again, where does Joe Burrow go? He can't possibly go in the top 4 or 5 rounds because there's just too many quarterbacks. So there's great ways to wait on a quarterback this year. There's endless opportunity to diversify your quarterback approach in 2024. It's gonna be fantastic. I'm about ready to jump out of here, Perps, but hit me with whatever you got, and then I'm gonna probably get out of here pretty quickly tonight. I'll be back.
The biggest thing I was gonna say is that I don't see anything negative in the chat that anyone went after Ron, but we all know Ron,
took it hard.
A big contributor to this show. He participates a lot, and he's very prideful and high on his Steelers, as he should be. That's his team, amongst other players and teams.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's hard on him, but at the end of the day, like I said, we're all a big community. We're all a big family. we can all give each other crap and, rib each other here and there within good fun, but I don't think anyone's here to attack him. And if Ron feels like he's not welcome or he can't be around because of a loss, I mean, he's got to put that aside because no one here that I can see feels that way. So,
Perp saying, "Get in here, Ron." All right, hey Perps, appreciate you, bro, and I'll see you after the game. I don't know if I'll be live immediately after the game, but I'll be live after the game.
Sounds good. See you.
All right, pal. Appreciate you. Perps to the moon. Perps, everybody thank Perps for one of your. Oh, look at that touchdown! Unreal. Was that Moore? That was David Moore. That was an unreal. That was bad tackling, I guess you could say, more than anything. But that was a nice little touchdown strike. Bucks up 10-0, assuming they kicked this extra point successfully. Wow. Sloppy defense, bad tackling, unraveling Philadelphia Eagles. Unbelievable. So Baker throws a nice little short pass, intermediate pass across the middle of the field, really wide open, and then David Moore just does the rest. And then when he gets down to about the 5-yard line, Philly just poor tackling, but great move. I mean, hats off to that little maneuver he did. So he stops, stutter steps, cuts back over to the middle of the field. Nice stutter steps, good jump cuts. This guy got into the end zone on his own. Let's give him credit. David Moore deserves that. Wow, 10-0, Philly getting worked already. Let's see if Herz can come out and score. This is good news for Jalen Hurts, though, because if Hertz blows in this game, let's say, then he drops really far. Like when I say really far, I mean he probably drops from like this round 2 territory down to like mid 3. I don't think you anywhere close fall to 4, but you never know. But I would say this moves him a big loss and not a very good game. Let's say he loses but has a good game. A big loss with a bad game would move Hertz into round 3. And it would be Allen by himself in round 2. It would probably also in turn maybe move Stroud above him if Stroud has another good game. Even if he loses and Hertz blows in this game, Stroud could move to 2. Like, that's how crazy and volatile the quarterback rankings are and the way the human population reacts. It's understandable, but it's crazy. It's like your boy loves psychology. I studied psychology in college, and I'm fascinated by how people react, to things. I love it. I love watching it. I love watching it unfold. That's why I love ADP conversations so much, because I love watching what one game can do. Dave Waters says Burrow will return as the king. He may, but the good news, Dave, is he's going to fall in the 7 or 8 round territory, Dave. So if he does, you're going to win some leagues off of that instinct to go after Joe Burrow. Everybody should own shares of Joe Burrow in 2024. Everybody should own shares of Josh Allen in 2024. Everybody should own shares of Jalen Hurts in 2024. Everybody should own shares of CJ Stroud and Mahomes. Diversify the hell out of your quarterback situation in each one of your leagues, because injuries strike like crazy. This one is for Ron Navy. $20 holler. Perps alert. To the moon.
Super chat alert.
Perps, appreciate you tossing that one out for Ron Navy. That's kind of like when you say and pour one out for Ron. Ron, pour one out for the Steelers. I feel bad for him because I know he's taking it hard. I know he's taking it real hard. Wheel Snipe City in the building. Hey, this is odd. This is really weird. First of all, Wheel Snipe City, probably aside from Perps and Christopher Smith and Ron Navy, he's probably the one person that is the most likely to gift somebody a membership, but he didn't even have one. Wheel Snipe was rolling without a membership in the chat, and Perps just gifted a slew of them, and it just so happened that Wheel Snipe City got one. Wheel Snipe didn't even buy his own. This is one of the biggest YouTube exclusive members that gifts him. And he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Wheel Snipe, you gonna let him do that to you? Appreciate you, Wheel Snipe, for being in here, though. We haven't seen you in a while. But that's amazing that somebody gifted Wheel Snipe City a membership and he got caught without one. Unbelievable. Pour one out for the Cowboys. Pour one out for the Steelers. I could do that. Pour one out for McCarthy. I don't know if McCarthy's coming back. I don't know if that's good. I don't know if that's good at all. Because I don't know about you, but I don't want CeeDee Lamb. Who is that? Baker? Oh, no. Okay. Eagles have the ball right now. I was looking over here. I didn't even see. I thought maybe just the way that guy's number looked, it looked like Baker. Okay, here we go. My stream got frozen too. I'm a little behind. Hold on. Let me fast forward it. I can't stand sometimes how behind my stream can get. It pauses. It's choppy. Okay, Herz is in the gun. Throws the football to... It's Watkins. Watkins for about... I don't know. He's about 3 yards shy. It'll be third down in like 2 or 3. Thank you, Perps. Appreciate you. Perps with the gifted memberships. Perps with the $20 hauler. Perps to the moon. Perps is the man, the myth, the legend. Wheel Snipe City, is he... Where's he at? Wheel Snipe, where you at? I'm a fade Lamb now. Dak, LOL, says Charles. Well, Charles, Dak was still top 3-4 quarterback in fantasy. So, I don't know. I'm not saying... I don't know how I would approach that. Because Dak's still balled out. Dak's got to stop that here we go nonsense. Agree, Silver. I can't stand it. Here we go. Like, if I hear that again, that's why he lost. People are tired of hearing about it. It was like, stop it. We don't need to hear that every single darn time you snap the football. Here we go. Here we don't go. Here we don't go. It's enough is enough. I'll be on after the game. Appreciate you all. See you all later. You see Ron Navy. Give him a bro fist. All right. See you all later. Appreciate you. Thank you, Perps. Appreciate you. See you all after the game. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, Eagles. You aren't flying at all. Hertz looks disgusted. Drop footballs, but he could drop the football. He could fumble the football too. This could be a good game for fantasy football. Plummeting value of Jalen Hertz. This could be, at the end of this game, we might be cycling in here to say, you know what? Hats off to Tampa so far. Wheel Snipe, appreciate you. But we might be in here talking about how low a value Hertz is going to have. Perps with a $10 hauler gets a moonshot. Dak McCarthy got to go. Dallas needs new blood. Here we go. Yeah, it depends who they bring in at QB. I mean, Lamb's going to be hard to evaluate. We're going to definitely have to pause a little bit. Smitty doesn't like Dak Prescott. Cadence. No, I don't. Not at all. Not at all. See you all later. Thank you, Perps. Appreciate you.